Hello and welcome to Scarlet Serpent readings. Thank you so much for joining me for today's timeless pick a card reading, which is a special collaboration with Shon.Vibes, and we're going to be diving into the shadow. Shon does pick a card readings, and she most recently did a set of interviews that are fantastic with Odessimal and Celtic Fairy Tarot, and one other popular tarot reader, but I forgot her name. Moon Magic, I think it was. But either way, check out her channel. She has a very vibrant energy. It's wonderful, and I'm very glad to be working with her to dive into the shadow. So she's going to be looking at the shadow within yourself and how you could best utilize it. And in this video, I'm going to be looking at a dark god or goddess that you would benefit working with, or that kind of has a calling to you. And we'll see why working with this god or goddess, this dark, not like dark energy, so I'll clarify that in a sec, but why working with them would help you in your spiritual development or in a phase of your life that you're in right now. And by dark, I mean kind of wild, maybe grounding gods or goddesses. So the easiest example I could think of is Kali, and I'll be using the Kali Oracle for every pile in this reading. So that just is a representation of the wild nature within you. So these gods and goddesses, these dark gods and goddesses, are really like a reflection of who you are and kind of how tapping into that power, that inner darkness, can help you in your current situation, in your spiritual development, and in your life right now. So hopefully you find it helpful. And yeah, I'm going to dive right in. We have 3 different piles. So, and I'll be showing these all together too, so you could see them side by side. But this is going to be pile 1. This is pile 2. And then this is pile 3. So yeah, I'll show you all the piles together. If you need some more time, you can go ahead and pause the video, and the timestamps will be in the description. And in the description, I'm also going to have a link to Shon.Vibes, part of the collaboration, so you can check that out before or after this reading. So yeah, I'll see you in a sec. Hi, pile 1. If you chose the blue Tara, this is going to be your reading on which dark god and goddess energy you can work with, and why it'll help you in your spiritual pathway right now. And of course, if you missed the intro, this is a collaboration with Shon.Vibes, so don't forget to check out her channel, and her part of the reading is going to be linked in the description. So I haven't looked at these cards, but I have a goddess energy oracle, and then an oracle and another tarot to describe this energy. And this energy could be something that is kind of wanting to work with you for a specific reason, or is within you, and you're kind of being asked to look at it and use that energy to help you in this moment, in this point in time. Oh, I have to do a god, because these are I have goddess oracles, but I wanted to kind of balance that with the masculine dark god energy. There aren't that many, so we'll see. Okay, Thanatos, and then that's the personification of death. He separates the soul from the body, and this is from Greek mythology. I'll show you the... Well, I don't think we're going to be able to see that. There we go. Okay. So you chose blue Tara, and the goddess is Sin, which is actually the wife of Loki. You probably read from this. If I can find, okay, really quickly. She is also the wife to the trickster god Loki. There's a story. I'll just do it really quickly. Once it was discovered that Loki had a hand in the fatal accident, he was bound with chains in a cave, and a snake was placed above him. Sin, in an effort to protect her husband, stood beside him and held out a bowl to catch the dripping venom. However, once the bowl was filled, she was forced to leave and empty it. In the meantime, several drops would land on Loki's head, causing him excruciating pain. And interestingly enough, I also have this card, which is Rebirth and has a serpent on it, a snake here. That's already a strong synchronicity between these two. You can even see it, that if I position the card, it's like she's catching the venom. Very interesting here. And then we have Blue Tara. And I'll probably look at that a little bit later, but this seems to be, and with Thanatos, I should say, personification of death, and then there's a separation of the soul. So this dark part of you is trying to help you through transformation, and knows of the discomfort and almost chaos that comes with it. What's interesting is that this god or goddess is willing to suffer with you, suffer through the agonizing pain of moving, transitioning to another part of your life. I mean, that could be literally with a person, but I think for the most part, this is a spiritual transformation, and it's been difficult, you know. Let's see. I'm gonna get another card because I wanted to get, before we get into why this energy would help you, more of a description of an energy that you're already, it's already in your auric field. And yeah, I believe this is the Emperor. So this transformation has to do with stepping into your power and wielding it. And like the Blue Tara card looks like, you know, this rebirth is, while uncomfortable, potentially very slow. It's necessary. It's been a long time coming, and it springs with life and beauty and something that needs to be shown off, really. This part of you that's been in the shadows for a long time. Tara is even wearing a serpent underneath there as well, so there's a lot of death. Death in your reading, death in the form of the serpent, and specifically that uncomfortable period between different, between the veil. And I think that's where you're at. And I think this dark god and goddess energy wants to try to give you as much comfort through that as possible. And I think the way to do that is actually like movement. You know, I'm imagining like a snake wiggle through and just dance. It's a song by Dio, I think. Darn it, I forgot. Something the night. Oh, that's gonna bother me. But anyways, like just dance, get a groove on. Because you're here for a while, you know. And actually that dance and that joy that you'll find in enduring that pain, and I don't think this is a physical pain, but it's just like a limbo that is uncomfortable. And this spirit, or these spirits, these gods, goddesses that, you know, are around you or within you, want you to know that it's temporary and that it's worth what's coming. But let's see, you know, why would this god and goddess benefit your spiritual development now? You have the Seven of Pentacles. It came out in reverse, so I'll leave it like that for now. We have the Eight of Cups, Page of Swords, the Empress, right underneath the Emperor, right. I think in a lot of ways, this transformation has to do with the people that you've been attracting into your life, and I think that's kind of like the final tweak that's happening within you. So if you've noticed that the connections you've been having they don't feel quite right, I think this is like the final threshold. And then you'll notice when you're on the other side of this death rebirth, when the people in your life are different. And I think most of these are going to be completely new people, so I don't think the people around you are going to change, or the circumstances are going to change. Like, in other words, one company or one workplace isn't going to shift. It seems more like it's going to be a completely different company, something like that. Or you'll get a promotion to another location, something along those lines, where there's completely new energy coming in. I have the Seven of Pentacles. It did come in reverse, so it kind of feels like you've been putting a lot of work and it hasn't really sustained you. It hasn't been equal to the effort that you've been putting in. And then we have the Eight of Cups, so you've been again, that limbo feeling comes through, that you've been in limbo, that you've been kind of drifting away from things and people that you don't connect with anyway. So and that process is uncomfortable. It's like, is it me? Am I depressed? But I think an alternative perspective, at least in this sense, is that the depression comes from the fact that you're changing so much that, you know, people around you can't really catch up. And if you feel alone, but you're just going another floor, you know, and there's just different people on the next floor, if you're on an elevator, for example. So you won't be alone. I think that's what that discomfort, that frustration with not being able to connect is about, is that if it feels like there's a glass wall between you and the friends you used to have, the family you used to have, coworkers, even lifestyle, things that you used to enjoy, that there's a glass wall there and you're not really sure why it's there anymore. It's because of this serpent that's changing within you. And then once that transformation comes again, you'll have a vibrancy and a thirst for life and engagement again. And that's when you'll know, like, oh, okay, finally, like that weight would be lifted. We have the Page of Swords, and I think these energies, the gods and goddesses here, are going to help you bring new insight and new ideas and new ways to blossom. Because we'll notice the flowers in both of these decks. So something about pink flowers, maybe being around them would help you during this transformation. And maybe that, oh look, this is pink flowers too with the Empress. Sorry. There we go. So there is like a whisper of divine counterparts, especially Emperor and Empress being together. But it could also be a sign that this phase that you're going through has to do with healing. Either one of those, so either the divine masculine or feminine energy. And when you bring those two into balance, or not even when it's just something that's happening to you. You know, when those two come into balance, you'll feel whole and able to distinguish between things and people. And if you've had trouble making decisions, I don't think that would be the case at all anymore with anything, really. There's a sense of certainty, and maybe that's something you felt like with past relationships too, and people in general, is that you have to give a lot so that they don't get hurt. And that self-sacrifice has it adds up, because the more, like, even if you were to just do it often to one person, that would be exhausting after a while. But if there's multiple people in your life that you don't want to hurt, it's like you're not allowing them to fall on their face, so you're falling on your face for other people. At this point, the switch is that your sacrifice isn't really helping these people that you want. You know, sometimes being too kind isn't that helpful. They need the hard truth, you know, and there's I think that's the vibration that you're stepping into, is like you're overflowing with confidence. Yeah, it's hard to describe, but it's a very strong feeling. It just feels as though you've done that a lot, you know. You've put others before you so much that this is gonna feel to others like a complete 180, but for you, you've known about this side of you for a while. Let's just look at the blue tower real quick. Yeah, it's a side of you that you've known was there, and maybe like in the privacy of your own time, or like in the shower, the bathroom, or in the car. There's this part of you that just wants to maybe journal or write or draw or paint, dance in a more wild way, and that version of you is coming out. So, okay. If you feel held back or slowed down by your circumstances, remember that your soul has the ability to process all experiences and become stronger, not weaker. Through doing so, this oracle indicates healing and a positive prediction for a peaceful future. Okay. Just as the beautiful lotus grows from muddied waters, so too shall you arise from confusion and difficult circumstance. Yeah, okay. And I didn't read that before, but that confusion came through not only in the way I was speaking this whole reading, or I'm trying to put words together, but it's like I'm just grabbing them from different places. But here, this card really represents where you feel, you know, drifting away kind of aimlessly. And that's what this goddess and god energy is here to tell you. It's kind of like dance with that movement, with sin. I don't know, that doesn't seem so much like your energy as much as the goddess. These deities are here to help you through this transformation. You don't have to do it alone. You might be alone, but energetically, there's beings with you who are willing to feel what you feel the way that you felt for others, if that makes sense. So yeah, I'm going to wrap the reading up with that. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Please like, subscribe, comment if you haven't already. Thank you for your support. I appreciate it. And don't forget to check out Shon.Vibes, part of the collaboration. Again, that's going to be in the description. So yeah, I hope to see you in the next reading. Take care. Hi, Pile 2. If you chose this card, this is going to be your reading on what dark goddess, god or goddess, wants to work with you and why working with them would benefit you. And of course, if you missed the collaboration, the intro, I should say, this is a collaboration with Shon.Vibes, where she's going to be looking at your shadow and how you could best utilize it. So, I have a few oracle cards out. Oh, I need to get... So, I have a few dark goddesses here, like more than one, and then I'm going to get the masculine dark god. But I already know what this is about. Then we have Anubis, god of death and embalming. Anubis from Egyptian mythology. And then we have Hestia with foundation, Baobo with laughter, and then Aphrodite with self-love. Most of these are not really dark goddesses, but the message is very clear. This is all about you, like being self-centered and selfish. That would be the dark aspect to it. I'll show you these images in a second, but it's creating stability and a foundation, a very strong sense of home for yourself, and a joy that it's kind of, well, not really. You know how you see the good in other people? Like, I think this dark energy is trying to get you to do that to yourself. So for every compliment you give someone else, give that to yourself. For every time you help someone with something, kind of like give yourself a massage or stretch or something like that. But I'll show you these goddesses real quick. I'm being silly here. This is really funny. Then this is saying to enjoy your own company, self-love. Enjoy your own company. Kind of lavish and spoil the self. And then I'm gonna read the oracle for this, but it's Baglamukti, and she's all dressed in gold and just lavish garnishes, and this is even the Queen of Pentacles, very royal, very regal, and like, it might not be a dark energy necessarily, but it might have been placed under the category of shadow within your mind, that oh, that's too egotistical, you know, to put on makeup or take pictures of yourself or something like that, where just, yeah, that's probably been something that's been placed under the shadow, and that would have been done by narcissistic or codependent, mostly narcissistic behavior, like someone in your life who really wanted you to not recognize your own beauty. Yeah, they didn't want you to see your own beauty. They don't want other people to be attracted to you, and that could have been something that's been placed into your mind, even by parents, you know, constantly judging your body, judging your looks, judging constantly, instilling this self-doubt. It's kind of like sprinkling onto your mind. It's like, hey, you know, I don't know if I would wear that. It's like, why do you look at yourself so much? And then, like, this is coming back to center, and maybe even investigating why you felt that was wrong for so long. So let's look at, I just want to see the oracle. She transforms our karma from that which hinders our joy to that which creates true happiness and bliss for ourselves and all beings. As you seek refuge in her, you are protected from gossip, slander, and any form of negativity from others. A positive turning of the tide and fortune is predicted. This is a very positive card. And like I said, that sprinkling example, I think that's something you've had to deal with a lot. Shaming the way you see yourself and constantly trying to put you a step below, you know, So, and that could have, if you were struggling to manifest something in the physical, that could be part of it actually. So whether it be I want to create something and it hasn't come through, or you want to go on a vacation, or manifest enough money to do X, Y, or Z, it could go back to that, in a way, energetically finding that value within yourself already. So and that could be difficult to do, right? Where what do you call it, net worth, right? Oh, you don't own a home yet, so you're not worth anything. And I think this dark god and goddess are seeing, Anubis is saying, we're gonna let that die, that foolishness, that, I mean, it'll still exist, but your indulgence in that belief will no longer apply to your thought process in a day-to-day level. And then these other goddesses are here to just laugh at that and enjoy yourself and see the value that you have, that extends beyond the dollar sign, beyond what you own. As opposed to what you own, it's more of your ownness. I tried with that, I don't know. Okay, so let's see why this working with this energy would benefit you. Okay, so we have the Five of Wands, the High Priestess. It is in reverse. I'll leave it like that. Yeah, that one. The Five of Swords. So it's focusing on the self is how you battle the other people around you. That's how you deal with, because there's with the fives, it just feels like suffocating energy. I'm seeing Saturn straight away, and a lot of people have come to you challenging you because they see you as a threat because you're powerful. So naturally will try and find a way to diminish you, and they've been successful in a way by sabotaging your intuition. Your mind is saying one thing and the self-doubt comes from other people. So I think once you treat yourself more like a princess, like a prince, like a royalty, where every step has weight and where your opinion matters, and if it's not going to be heard here, you'll take it elsewhere, but it needs to be shared. But it's interesting that I just saw the two fives. They're very violent. We have the Emperor showing up again. I think that's your energy. And because Hestia says foundation, I think of the Emperor as having that foundation as well. And then the Five of Wands also being Sagittarius, Mars. So, and the Hierophant. Talk about stability, right? So while the world around you may shift around, be chaotic, the people, especially, the news, whatever, life happens around you, you could always find stability and peace and a sense of center within yourself. And that could be like seen as a cliche, but the more that you feel that truth, the easier it'll be to navigate through all of the chaos. You'll be the eye in the center of the storm. So Five of Wands, two tigers, Hierophant in reverse. And for some reason, with this Hierophant in reverse, I'm getting like you're almost being asked to, with this energy will help you not get swayed by the tide of other people's emotions and their lack of self-control. It's like a counterbalance to the waves is a solid foundation, is the earth itself. You have the Five of Swords. Is that just me, or is this too bright? I could change it, right? I'm being unprofessional. No, I can't. I'm too short. We have the Emperor and then the Hierophant. This is belief in self. That's the big thing with this dark goddess energy, is not giving a damn about anyone else's perception of you. I mean, that's the central theme of this reading. All wearing the crown. I don't know if you could notice that. All wearing the crown, all very in a seat of power, and that seat is created by your experience. You know, you've earned it, energetically anyway, and regardless of where you are in your life, again, like where you are in your career, whether or not you have kids, all these measures of success are irrelevant, and I think this dark goddess is trying to put a mirror in front of you and just remind you of the value that you have on other people's lives and the value that the earth has by your existence. You know, this is like a pep talk pile, you know, especially as empaths. This kindness needs to be looked back at and just seen for what it is, and you know, celebrated with people who have an understanding of your value, your heart of gold, if you will. So don't be afraid to adorn adorn yourself with gold stuff. Have gold dragons. Like find your jewelry that you like wearing, things that make you feel valuable and big. Like, give yourself permission to feel big and laugh in the face of your opposition, because it's really created by people who just want to create turmoil. It's they're trying to rock the boat, and if you just step off the boat, you won't have to worry about it at all. You know, there's plenty of land underneath your feet. There's plenty of and I see that too. Like, this is a dark god and goddess reading, but Archangel Michael's very strong in this pile, so he's also lending his energy, I think, to all of you, especially because of the fives that are all over the place. You know, the people that surround you, energies that may be chaotic around you. That's because your stability, and that's almost like the yin and yang. The universe is almost balancing itself because you're so stable and strong and calm. There's a very strong sense of nurturing and calm that you that's just your energy. So consequently, sometimes you might notice that, why is everyone around me kind of insane? Well, not insane, but you know, almost bipolar, where things shift very radically, and that's because you're their center. And so really this dark energy is trying to get you to recognize your stability and your value again. So yeah, and take yourself out, like on a date or something. I don't know. But I'm gonna end the reading there. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Please like, comment, share, and don't forget to check out Shon.Vibes part of the video of the collaboration. That information is going to be in the description. So yeah, hope to see you in the next reading. Take care. Hi, Pile 3. If you chose the Shodashi Oracle card, this is going to be your reading. What dark god or goddess wants to work with you, and why would it benefit you. And of course, if you missed the intro, this is a collaboration with Shon.Vibes, and you could find the link to her portion of the collaboration in the description. So I have the Dark Goddess, I have the Shadashi card, I have a tarot, and this is all describing the dark god and goddess energy that wants to work with you. Actually, let's get the male counterpart, because I have the goddess, but I want to do a god as well. Osiris, Lord of the Dead, and he was killed by his brother Set and resurrected with Isis, or by Isis. Interesting that two of the gods were Egyptian, so if you didn't see the Egyptian reading, you might find value in it, but otherwise the goddess that you got, the Dark Goddess, is Circe. And so this pile, this dark energy, is an alchemist and a magician, and I also want to say has the potential to be seductive and use that energy. I'm getting a very strong vibe of that, actually, and maybe a connection to Bastet. But there's a very strong divine feminine energy, more so than the other two piles. Very strong divine feminine energy. And the first thing is this dark goddess, god and goddess energy is asking you to work more with magic if you don't already. Or if you do, well, keep doing it because it's working. Potions like apothecary, candle work. I don't have a cauldron, but doing things with aroma to play. Really, that's the dark goddess energy, is to play with your creativity and your seductive powers. And there's a lot of different ways to manipulate these energies and to work with magic. And so let's take a look at the oracle really quick for Shadashi. Okay. Red-colored skin and vibrant with feminine life force. She has the power to actualize desires. In color healing from Hinduism and Buddhism, red is medicine for attraction and magnetism. The appearance of Shadashi in a reading indicates a time when your ability to attract what you want is being heightened. You can be relaxed and trusting in your capacity for magnetically drawing in all that you desire into your world. Strong spell work. That seductive energy is there, but there's this pull to ritualistic magic here. And so I think part of this dark god and goddess energy is don't be afraid to ask for what you want. And even if you fail, or it feels as though you failed, you feel as though you've asked for something and it hasn't come through, I think with the presence of Osiris, it's that it can resurrect and try again. There's a refining factor, in other words, where you can refine the practice, refine your headspace when you're asking for these things, refine your energy, the tools that you're using. There's more than one way to get to the end goal of your desires and manifestations. So play. Don't be afraid to ask. I think that's a big thing. We have the Three of Swords. So that makes sense. Given what I just said with Osiris, is that there's been struggle. And I think that struggle, for some reason, I'm seeing like that blood being used in a ritual. You could do that as an alchemist would, energetically, like during meditation, taking the pain, going to it, visiting it, grabbing it, putting it in a jar like in a meditation, and doing something with it. We could heal with it, or use that intensity, or take little grains of different aspects of those moments and placing it elsewhere, or even going back as a guide to that moment in time. You know, it's almost fun to play with just the idea of, what if spirit guides are just us from the future trying to talk to us? And I don't know, like, be a guide to yourself in those moments. And maybe you could shift the past to change your future. Maybe just the perspective shift is what's blocking your manifestations. And I see that with the Ace of Cups. There's 2 undead fish. I'm saying fish and the camera's focusing on the fountain. Nice job, camera. But we see there's 2 fish there. The same pink flower. So I think this pile would do well working with the elements too. So like herbal magic. And again, with earth elements, I think if you've been trying to manifest things and it hasn't been working, I think a part of that is not using the earth around you in jars, or just touching it, or working with it is going to greatly amplify your magic. Because again, that might have been something you've been hesitating to really dive deep into, is witchcraft, like straight up witchcraft and rituals. But it just, there's a very strong presence of that, either in your bloodline lineage, or just the god and goddess energy that's around you right now has a lot of wisdom for that. What I'm also noticing is the spilling of this potion by this lazy cat, and then the flowing of water. There's something about mistakes actually help you out in a way. Like, you become more carefree when you mess up, and that actually helps with your practice. Not only necessarily magic practice, but with anything. Yeah. Like, if you were to be a graphic designer or a clothing designer, and like, if you allow yourself to mess up, you can be more creative. It's just a first draft, so you allow yourself to draw a bunch of nonsense. But through that nonsense, as you sift through it, I should say, you'll find gold in there, and that gold you could cultivate and grow into your next project or something. I don't know how that works, but we have the 5 of Cups and the 7 of Wands. Let's clarify these 2. This Emperor has been in every reading. So I think as a dark god energy, Emperor as an over, yeah, self-confidence is going to be a part of the reading for every pile, in some respect. Self-confidence in whatever it is that you're doing, in yourself, in the value that you place on yourself, and in this pile, in your practice and your ability to manifest. It's, well, I know I can do it. I know I have a spirit team that'll help me get to where I need to be and accomplish what needs to be accomplished. So let me just keep tweaking. Let me just play and move forward, because I'm getting that with the Knight of Pentacles. When there's you run into opponents or a boss or something like that, the more that you've fallen, it's almost as if it's become routine. The cat's, kind of used to falling. The thing has 9 lives, so it would be used to the heartbreak after a while. It'd be used to the fighting and feeling out of place, feeling lost. Like these are stages. Yeah, these can even be seen as stages of the manifestation process. And so you can even know if you're going through disillusionment, you're like, oh, well, I'm at this stage of the manifestation, so I just need a couple other things to happen, and it'll just give you more confidence. And again, you can get what you want faster. And the dark energies are saying that it's upon reflection where you realize how much influence you have on your life. It's not just fate, or it's not just, the divine has its say, of course, but at the same time, it's your life. So you can still choose to push through the struggle if you really want something, even if you're going against the current. Go with the flow doesn't always apply, although it certainly helps and you have the momentum with you. But sometimes if you really want something and all odds are against you, that's also, it shows a lot of character. It shows a lot of human strength and determination and willpower, and that's what this Emperor is saying. And this guy's been through every reading with Aries, Mars. It's like the wind could blow, the elements could fight against me, but once the Emperor is determined, it will win. It's going to push through all of that, and I think that's just been something you've gone through, especially with Osiris again being torn up through his swords. You've gone through your hardship, but stay determined, keep trying, and tap into this goddess energy, Circe and Osiris. Push through, and you cannot fail. And I think once you start seeing again the momentum, the lights of look back on the successes and the times that you've been able to accomplish exactly what you've wanted, or manifest exactly what you've wanted. You could even start small with the manifestations, with the rituals and spell work, small little things, and then work your way up and build confidence that way. But you definitely have a lot of magic potential. So yeah, I'm going to end the reading with that. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Leave a comment, like, subscribe, and don't forget to check out Shon.Vibes, part of the reading. That's going to be in the description. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope to see you in the next reading. Take care.